Hey everybody, how's it going? Travel Man Dan here, and welcome to today's episode of Reading Man Dan. Well, today we're going to continue on with the December 2020 Vlogmas series, as today I bring you the 14th book. I'm talking about Frosty the Snowman. It's going to be a great episode, so sit back, relax, and get ready for the show. Let's go. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's episode. If you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Ring the notifications bell so you're notified when new episodes come out each and every week. And now, let's go ahead and get started. Today we'll be reading Frosty the Snowman. It is a little golden book, but it is also a famous cartoon. You may have seen it. Check it out if you haven't. It's a great cartoon. Let's go ahead and start reading this book. Frosty the Snowman by Diane Muldrow. Cover illustrated by Robin Cuddy. Interior illustrated by Josie Yee. It all started with the snow, the first snow of the season. As every child knows, there's a certain magic to the very first snow. And when it falls on the day before Christmas, something wonderful is bound to happen. Wow! Check it out! All the kids are still in school and it is snowing. It is the first snow of the season. Tomorrow is Christmas. Everybody is happy. I know growing up in Buffalo, New York, wow, what an experience it was when we had our first snow of the season. Children, back to your seats, called the teacher. The snow can wait. I've hired Professor Hinkle, the magician, to entertain us for our Christmas party. Unfortunately, Professor Hinkle was just about the worst magician in the world. And so, I put the eggs into my magic hat, said Professor Hinkle. Abracadabra. And voila, the eggs have turned into a mess. Where's my rabbit? Hocus Pocus, where are you? He didn't know that his rabbit, Hocus Pocus, was hiding in the hat. Alright, so let's take a look. So the teacher settles everyone down. She says, alright, we have our Christmas party. I have hired magician Mr. Hinkle. But Mr. Hinkle isn't very good. He has no idea what's going on. He puts the egg into the hat right there, and out comes a mess. And he was unsure what happened to Hocus Pocus the rabbit. Let's flip the page and find out. The only thing this hat is good for is the trash can, said Professor Hinkle. But the hat didn't stay in the trash for long. The hat, with Hocus Pocus underneath, hopped out the door. That was when the bell rang. The children were free for the whole Christmas holiday. Yeah! No more school! No more school! Yeah, alright, check it out. So over here we have the magician Mr. Hinkle, and he throws the hat. You can see the rabbit is in the hat into the trash. The rabbit hops out of the hat and then skedaddles, and look, hopping off with the hat, and school is out. It is time to celebrate the Christmas holiday. The children are so happy. Hey, look at the snow, cried the children as they ran outside. They worked together to build the first snowman of the season. Once the children had given him eyes, a nose, and a mouth, it was time to name him. How about Frosty? Asked Karen. Frosty the Snowman. The children danced around Frosty as they sang about his button nose and his eyes made of coal. Come back here, cried Professor Hinkle, chasing Hocus Pocus. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the hat onto Frosty's head. Whoa! Alright, let's take a look. Right here we have the children, and they're building the first snowman of the season. Karen suggests, how about we go ahead and name it Frosty the Snowman. But then here's Mr. Hinkle, and he's chasing Hocus Pocus. Then a gust of wind blows the hat onto Frosty's head. Happy birthday, said the snowman. Karen gasped and said, That hat brought Frosty to life. It must be magic. When Professor Hinkle heard that, he wanted the hat back. But it's not yours anymore, protested Karen. That hat will make me a millionaire, said the greedy magician, taking the hat back. Hocus Pocus felt that the hat really did belong to Frosty. So he hopped back to Frosty and the children as fast as he could to return the magic hat. Wow. All right, let's take a look. So Frosty the Snowman right there gets the hat on his head. He wakes up, happy birthday. But old Mr. Hinkle, he's like, I want that hat back. That hat can make me a millionaire. And he is going to try to grab it back. But good old Hocus Pocus, he's hopping along and he hops back to Frosty. Let's find out how this drama unfolds. Happy birthday, said Frosty again as soon as the hat was placed on his head. Hey, I said my first words. I'm alive. What a neat thing to happen to a nice guy like me. The magic hat made Frosty dance around. The children cheered as Frosty began to laugh and play with them. There had never been such a wonderful winter day. Wow, look at this. So Frosty gets his hat back. He's alive. He's excited. Happy birthday, everybody. The children are all singing. They're all dancing with Frosty. This is the best winter day they've ever had. When the sun peeked out from behind the clouds, Frosty exclaimed, "Oh, I'm all wishy-washy. I'm starting to melt." The children knew they needed to take Frosty someplace where he'd never melt, like the chilly North Pole. They decided to go to the railroad station and find a train for Frosty. "Let's have a parade through town," shouted Frosty. "Come on, kids, follow the leader." All too soon, it was time for the train and Frosty to leave. "I'll go with you, Frosty," said Karen. "I'm sure I'll be back in time for supper." Karen, Frosty, and Hocus Pocus jumped into a refrigerated boxcar on a freight train headed north. No one saw Professor Hinkle sneak under the train car and hold on. Oh no. All right, let's take a look. So, the sun is starting to melt poor Frosty. But the children decide we got to get him to the North Pole. But before we do, let's have a little parade in town. So they're marching through town. But then it's time to go, and Karen hops along with Frosty, and they head out to the North Pole. But oh no, look at sneaky Mr. Hinkle is latched underneath the train car. What is going to happen? What is Mr. Hinkle going to do? He wants that hat back. A refrigerator boxcar is a splendid way to travel. Splendid, that is, if no one is a snowman or a furry-coated rabbit. But for a little girl like Karen, it was just too cold. So, when the freight train made a stop, Frosty got them all out. No one saw Professor Hinkle jump off too. Ooh, so cold. Frosty took Karen and Hocus Pocus to a wooded glen, where they found animals decorating the trees for their big celebration. They knew Santa Claus was coming that night. After Hocus Pocus spoke to the animals, they agreed to build a campfire to keep Karen warm. But it didn't take long for Professor Hinkle to catch up with the friends. All right, let's take a look. Look at Frosty and Hocus Pocus. They're pretty comfortable, right? Frosty's a snowman. Hocus Pocus has got big, thick fur. But poor Karen is freezing. So they hop off. Then they find this wooded glen. Good old Hocus Pocus is able to talk to all the animals, and they build Karen a campfire. But nobody sees the sinister Mr. Hinkle hopping off, catching up, creeping up behind. He's going to grab that hat if it takes him all day. "Get on my shoulders, Karen," cried Frosty. Frosty, since he was made of snow, was the fastest ballywhopper in the world. Soon, he and Karen were sliding down a hill, leaving that greedy Professor Hinkle far behind. At the bottom of the hill was a tiny greenhouse for growing tropical poinsettias for Christmas. It was the perfect place for Karen to stay warm. "Frosty, you'll melt in here," warned Karen. "I'll only stay inside for a minute," Frosty assured her. But that nasty Professor Hinkle caught up with them once again. He locked the door, trapping the friends inside. Oh no! First of all, Frosty uses his big round belly made of snow to go ahead and plop on the snow and slide down the hill. Boy, what a whopper. And look at this. Oh no, they're trapped inside. Professor Hinkle has locked the doors from the outside. Poor Frosty, how's he gonna make it? That's a little greenhouse and it's warm because they grow tropical poinsettias for Christmas. Karen will be warm, but poor Frosty's probably gonna melt. That night, Hocus Pocus led Santa Claus to the greenhouse to save Frosty. But by then, poor Frosty had melted completely. Sad. "Don't cry, Karen," said Santa kindly. "Frosty's not gone for good. You see, he was made out of Christmas snow. You can bet your boots that when a good jolly December wind kisses it, it'll turn into Christmas snow all over again. Just watch." Santa opened the door, and when the wind whirled in and out, Frosty was back. Santa was about to place the magic hat on Frosty's head when Professor Hinkle shouted, "I want that hat, and I want it now!" Santa replied, "If you touch this hat, I'll never bring you another Christmas present. Go home right now and write, 'I am very sorry for what I did to Frosty,' 100 zillion times. Then maybe, just maybe, you'll find something in your stocking tomorrow morning." Professor Hinkle was very sorry indeed. He ran straight home to start writing. Alright, let's take a look. Poor Frosty had completely melted. But Santa showed up. He said, "Don't worry. Frosty was made of Christmas snow. The minute a December wind touches it, it'll turn back into Frosty." And lo and behold, look what happened. You can see right there, Frosty is made, but Professor Hinkle is causing a ruckus. Right? He wants that hat. Santa says, "Look, if you don't leave now and write 100 zillion times that you are sorry, I'll never deliver you a Christmas present ever again." So Professor Hinkle took Santa's advice and ran home as fast as he could, and he's probably still writing, "I'm very sorry." Let's find out what happens to Frosty. "Happy birthday," said Frosty once more. Karen was happy to see her friend again, but now it was time to go home. Santa put Karen in his sleigh and promised her that he would take Frosty back to the North Pole with them. Karen hated to say goodbye to Frosty, but Santa said that Frosty could return every year with the magical Christmas snow. Wow! Alright, take a look. So the hat was placed on Frosty's head and he came alive again. And over here we got Frosty hops up on Santa's sleigh, gives Karen a big hug. Karen is a little sad to say goodbye to Frosty, but Santa assures Karen that don't worry, Frosty's made of Christmas snow, so each and every year he will return and you can see him. Frosty waved goodbye as he hurried on his way. He shouted a promise to return to the following Christmas, and every year he did just that. Merry Christmas, the end. Wow, check it out. There's Frosty. He promises Karen, "Look, I'll come back, don't worry." Each and every Christmas he did, and that is Frosty the Snowman. Wow, what a wonderful book. What an exciting story. We had so much fun things going on in this book. If you're new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Ring the notifications bell so that you're notified each and every week when a new video comes out. Go ahead, give this video a like. Drop me down a comment below. Let me know what you liked about this video. If you can suggest another book for Reading Man Dan to read, I'd love to hear from you. Wow. Such a great book. I love this book because It just has the fun Christmas spirit going on. It just talks about, well, the December winds and how that magical Christmas snow brings things to life. And that's how I feel each and every time around Christmas, especially during the first snow, and you get that holiday feeling, and it's just everybody's in a good mood, except for poor Professor Hinkle, because, well, he wanted his hat back. Still a lot of fun. Once Santa laid it down to him, he went home and he made things right. Well, that's gonna do it for today's book, Frosty the Snowman. I hope you saw something fun and cool, like how that magic hat landed on the snowman and Frosty came alive by saying, "Happy birthday!" I hope you learned something new and interesting. Well, kind of how Professor Hinkle, once he threw his hat in the trash can, how it became finders keepers. He didn't want that hat. He couldn't perform magic out of it because he thought it was just a piece of junk, so he threw it away. But then, once he realized the magic inside the hat, he said, wow, I could become a millionaire. And he went around chasing around trying to get his hat back, but it didn't work out for him, so I hope you learned a lesson off of that. But most of all, I hope you were inspired to go ahead and read this book yourself. Maybe watch this video again. It's super fun, it's a really good story, and if you get a chance, be sure to check out the cartoon Frosty the Snowman. Really good stuff, and I loved bringing you this episode. I want to say to you all, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays. But to each and every one of you, I wish you much peace, joy, and a lot of happiness this holiday season. May you have the best year of your life in 2021. Thanks again for watching. I'm Travel Man Dan, aka Reading Man Dan, and remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.